Welcome to the From the 108 podcast, starring the drunk uncles of White Sox Twitter. He's a Twitter-like whore, an Instagram thirst trap, and your grandma's guilty pleasure. Beef loaf. A West Coast attitude in a decidedly Midwest body, My Sock Summer. And your host. He's sharing obscure music thoughts to give you time to hit the bathroom. Cheesy E.
Thank you, Cornsey, and welcome to the From the 108 podcast. Get ready for some baseball, beer, and bullshit. And remember the drinking rules. If Beef Loaf says allegedly, or that he manifested that, you drink. If My Sock Summer talks about the gym or tells us he simply did not have time, you drink. If I talk music or Star Wars, you drink. And of course, you can make all of us drink for just $1.08 or more, preferably more. But speaking of drinking, fellas, what are you drinking? And are you on the quest? My Sock Summer. What are you drinking tonight?
I know this is going to surprise every single one of you, but guess what? I had no time to do anything after my incredible hug. Let's have a drink. What did I have in the fridge? I have some nice Guinness draft cans, so that's what I'm drinking tonight out of the guaranteed rate field aluminum cup. So, yep.
There we go. The aluminum cup, the recycled cup. Now, was that your cup at a game, or did you pick that up off the ground?
No way he remembers this, and it's definitely one he picked up, Teresi, because the amount he picked up compared to the amount he actually used is a big ratio, baby. So it's got to be a pickup cup, you know.
You know
if you
what?
wash it, what's the difference?
I'll say this.
Garbage cup. You got a garbage cup.
I'll say this, Loaf, and I'll say this too, Teresi.
Yeah.
I haven't picked up any of these metal cups since the year they came out. So it's been 3 years. So I've had these same ones.
Right.
They don't go bad. They don't go bad. So don't worry about it. You know.
Hey, that's good.
I think I kept it confined just to the 108 because if we're gonna have diseases, I want just diseases that already exist
from someone you know. You want it from someone you know.
Yeah,
for sure. That's
like it means more when you get a nasty lip disease and you know it's from a friend of yours versus some rando. It's much easier to take and you feel more comfortable because at least you have somebody to ask about it. You know, like how'd you get rid of that thing on your dick?
They might even have some leftover ointment for you.
That's true. And sometimes it's expensive. It's very expensive.
Trey says, my first in-person game this week. Cheers,
thanks, Trey.
Yeah, Trey, and you got to win today, baby. Nice job.
A nice win today.
Trey must live out. He lives out there in Minnesota, huh? Lives in Minnesota. Good job, Trey.
Beef, what are you drinking?
I'm not on the quest, boys. I opened up a beautiful bottle of Italian wine, which name I cannot pronounce, for dinner. And I had it in this carafe right here. As you can see, it is completely empty. So back to I still have a glass of it left, but we got the box, Trees. The box is still pretty heavy, man.
Still good.
We're gonna take some of this down. Let me ask you a question. You had the box 1 week aged after it's open, even better, right? It opened up some. It's got to be even better, right?
It is exactly the same.
There's
no air getting into that. It is just it's sealed up. It's going to be exactly the same as it was last week. I actually waited, I think 2.5 weeks. I forget how long it says like you can keep it, and then turn that into the sangria that I had the one episode. So yeah.
Oh man,
nice work. Let me tell you guys something. The comments are killing me before we get to Trees drinking. First off, Tadito says, Beef, my streak of not sharding came to an end about 30 minutes ago.
Oh no!
Never started a new streak. That's a pre-show shard. I'm appreciative of that, Tadito. But yeah, one day tomorrow, first day without incident. And then my guy singing our socks. If the Bears take a tight end, I will kill myself. He says.
Oh.
Well, I get the wife pregnant one last time before, just in case. In case. All right, senor. Let's not fuck around.
Loaf, we might have to hit the dump button because you can't mention the suicides on air like our friend Shane Reardon found out. You can't talk about making a suicide because people don't like your WD-40. So you got to be careful.
Wasn't me, though. Treesy, what are you drinking? Are you on the quest, sir?
I am on the quest. I am heading to the mountains. Bush beer.
Yes.
No Bush light.
Bush.
This is Bush.
That's straight
on the list.
I just
That's
love
what's
it.
on the list.
I love it. How is it? that tastes like
It's
old
good.
man?
It actually doesn't. It has less of a beer taste than like Schlitz and those other ones that we've been drinking. It's kind of just I don't know. I don't want to say plain, but it's just kind of crisp and clean. It's just it's not
To me, Busch always sat at the level of like you're talking about below a beer taste where it's like you can drink a billion of them. Like that is kind of like the look of the Busch or the Busch Light. It's just like it's a little bit below that level. And I don't really enjoy that. I'm just do you like a little taste though of something there, or just water would be fine. But
Teresa, did you put that in a glass?
I did. I did.
Pick that up again. Look at this. I mean, is that water or is that beer? Don't know.
Look at that.
That's really tough to tell.
That's what I'm saying. It is really light. And
Dude, I've told you guys this before, but when we would do our all-day river adventure, I would always get a 30 rack of Busch Light, and I would drink like 24 of them because you drink yourself sober. There's so much water in those, like you were just fine by the end of it.
This is not Busch Light though. This is just Busch.
I know that's regular Busch.
So like Busch Light's got to be even more.
Let's call it Busch Heavy. How about that?
Yeah, Busch
Heavy. I can't even do that. I can't even do that.
Now, Teresa, we were talking about the remaining beers left because we got Busch on there. We got Old Milwaukee still on the list and Stroh's. So I went to go looking for Stroh's before, and I'm like,
it's hard to find.
So here's what I did. I went on the internet and I said, where can I get Stroh's? And I'm looking through all the choices or whatever. And it said maybe Archer Liquors. I told you that. I was like, we go on a road trip to Old Neighborhood. We used to hang out out by Midway with some of our friends. But the other thing it said was you can get it via Instacart.
Yeah.
And I thought, Instacart. So I looked, Treasy, and today I could have ordered Stroh's, a 30 rack. It was from a liquor store that's 20 miles from our house. It was going to be an hour and a half for the fucking thing to get here. So I didn't order it today, but I may in the future order it just so we can knock that one out.
So I looked at the same thing. Beef, and it was like the only reason I didn't, it was the ones that were close were all 30 racks. And I'm like, I don't know if I want a 30 rack of Stroh's. Like I got a 12er of Busch, right? That's the smallest one I can find. Like a 30 rack of Stroh's, it might take me a year to get through that. Like
find a 30 rack at.
Oh, it was a bunch of places in like the kind of like near like near Loop area over there.
Okay, all right.
Just like these like little liquor stores, but like it's on Uber Eats. You could get it from there. But there was one. It was a 6-pack of bottles, and I was like, oh baby. But it was like in where the fuck was it? It was in like Forest Park or something. And I'm like,
it's a long way for a 6-pack to travel.
I'm like, I'm a dickhead if I make some Uber driver drive like 30 minutes round trip to get me some Stroh's bottles. So
no doubt.
The pick is in apparently.
Yeah,
according to John Carney.
They got a offensive tackle.
Oh baby.
Jankowski said it's Loveland.
We got a couple drinks here to get to.
Let's hit them drinks, baby.
Jayzel says starting pitching is good. Not true. What a dumb thing to say. The Twins are terrible. Legit, no chance. We'll have multiple 15 loss streaks, no doubt. I'm having trouble following that second sentence, or the last sentence, but
we agree with it, and we love
cheers,
you. Thank you for the drink.
Jayzel, no one talks about how many more bases Scott Podsednik would have stolen if he had the bigger bags.
We got another one from Jayzel, and I'm not quite sure what this is about. It says 100% chance Amazing River never happened. Cheers.
Riddles right now. Thank you.
I think he's talking about me and not drinking. Trust me, I drank a lot of Busch Light.
Amazing River.
And Tadito says, was that English? Yes, it was. It was English. It was all English words. It's all English words.
I'm
just not quite sure what it was about.
It's like a salad of words.
My Sock Summer, how you doing tonight, buddy? I feel like you've been busy all day. I want to hear.
I've been busy.
I want to hear how you doing.
I've been busy all week. We had we started the week off with T-ball practice on Monday, and then softball, CCD, homework, aftercare, after school, blah blah blah. Tuesday, and then Wednesday softball, and there was no other coach there, so I volunteered and I helped the coach. And the girls definitely did not respect me because this was my first time there, so they didn't even know if I could catch. And I was like, "It's okay, you can throw balls at me, it's fine." And then we had T-ball tonight, and it's also my daughter's birthday. And to top
happy birthday!
Top it all off, We'll do that in the thank yous.
What cake did you buy her and then eat yourself?
Well, it's tonight. It's for tonight, Tracy. The leftover. When he goes
Here's
up
the
there,
deal.
Ash's leftover cake, 100%.
As you guys have known, I don't know if everyone knows, but the diabetes has like somewhat returned, right? So I can't be eating cake. I don't eat. I try to like do that and stop doing that stuff. So, I mean, I'll maybe have some sugar in the afternoon, but I don't usually have it at night. Although I'm going to have a Guinness. So it's like the wife left today, so we're gonna have cake on Saturday night when she comes home because that we were like we shouldn't have cake without mom, and plus dad had no time today to go get no fucking cake. So we had zebra.
Wait, so going to get the cake
cakes
wasn't even what ate up your time. Okay,
nope, wasn't. We had zebra cakes that we gave out to everybody on the T-ball team, and I had to remind them we do not have treats after every practice. So if they had that in their head, that is not happening. Because they're gonna be like, "Hey,
zebra cakes, low key delicious, man."
In the Capri Sun, and one kid, and it was great. He just looks at me and goes, how come my Capri Sun's so hot?" I go, "Oh, dude, that's because it's been sitting in the car all day. So sorry about that, but that's just the way it is, you know."
Didn't even have time to chill those.
Didn't have time to chill.
I have another.
And I did.
The hot one. That's
His dad goes, "Son, you shouldn't say that." And I go, no, that's totally on me. He should definitely call me out for giving him a really hot Capri Sun.
Let's get a drink here from Jay Zell. He says, can't stand summer. I think so. I feel like he's been going at you. I feel like you might have given Jay Zell a warm Capri
potentially.
Yeah. He's on you now. He's on.
I
you.
guess.
Cheers, Jay.
All right. Hey, just keep tipping and yell all you want at me all night.
Appreciate you, baby.
Now, I had a good banter last week. So good, in fact, that our friend Slim Mick was like, "Great banter. Don't fuck it up this week." So I don't have much more past that. So I'm gonna pass it on to the next one. Happy Friday, Mick. We like you. And I guess I love you. Bye.
Beef. How you doing? other than being in love with Slim Mick.
He's a sexy bitch. So I'm Slim Mick this week.
I'm pretty good, boys. I wanted to discuss this with you for a while. It's been a couple weeks since I saw this. But we just haven't sometimes we don't have time for me to get into all the shit that I find on the internet. But recently the NFL was examining the use of the tush push and trying to decide whether or not it should be illegal, and some of the teams don't want to do it or whatever. And Teresa, you're a guy who likes to press edges. If I known you a long time, you love to find a little edge, something that no one else is doing. Fucking get yourself an advantage. Well, I saw on the internet that Mike Leach, RIP in peace, former college football coach.
I know where you're going. I'm excited.
Had to be allegedly talked out of a strategy where he would uniform a little person and they would give the little person the ball and then throw them over the line for the first down. The Mike Leach had the idea to go out there and just get the little person and say, "Look, we're gonna toss you over the line, and this is the way we're gonna do it." And my question for you, Treasy,
it is.
That is the picture is from Barstool. Actually, that's That's Mike Leach, RIP. He passed away in 2022. Treasy, ethical or not to do this?
100% ethical. 100% ethical. It's not like this. It's not like the little person is going to have no say in this. Right? They are going to be on a college team getting multiple first downs a game. But that's not what I thought of immediately when I read that story, because I love the idea.
Yeah.
It's an insane idea. You should always be thinking out of the box. You should always be coming up with shit like this. But what I loved about it was I was thinking about it and I was like, teams would catch on after a while. You'd have to fake it.
Yeah, that
might
fake. What a touchdown every time. You throw it, the whole team is converging on this guy flying over. He's got no ball in his hand. Quarterback's running up the sideline. Touchdown. Fourth and 1, 50-yard touchdown run.
Nothing, and you take off. Well, here's my thought too. Like, I didn't know what were you guys thinking? 2 throwers, right? It's 2 people throwing, right? Or is it a single thrower? Do you have someone that's like the shot put from the Olympics is fucking shot putting this person over there?
Well, here's what I was thinking. You could have a tight end, like a bigger guy, like you got like one of these 6'7" tight ends, kind of running in motion, and when they snap, he comes back, grabs them. and flips him
with the momentum. Okay.
Yeah, because he's running and now he's like throwing it. I think he could do it. The thing is, there's a huge injury risk for someone.
There really is. The thrower could also get hurt, but
that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about the shoulder. Worried about the shoulder. No, but the throwee
got some downside risk, maybe.
They got to have that big helmet on. They got to have
the concussion helmet. You put that big old concussion helmet on.
Cap.
You know?
Yeah, you got to have the cap.
You know what, though? Crazy. My Sack Summer's down there shaking his fucking head. What if we put it across sports? Let's think about it this way, my Sack Summer. Let's say we're all sitting in a 108. It's a close game. The Sox are up by 1 run. And there's a ball that gets hit to right field.
Yeah.
And it becomes legal for us as fans to knock it down. And you pick up, what was that guy's name? Ronald that used to sit with us? And you fucking toss him on the field, fucking knock that home run down. You're a goddamn hero. And see, in your name saying this type of athletic competition. What's wrong with you?
He was a little thick. I don't know if I could have got my arms around Ronald enough to whip him. I would need your help for that.
This is the other thought I had, because you could think deep on this, man. You could cross the gender barrier. The little person could be a woman that you throw over the thing. And that woman may end up breaking Barry Sanders' fucking touchdown record of 37 in one season. And you don't even think how big this fucking shit could get,
from the 10-yard line. The
longer you're going 5-yard toss fucking shit.
I think that shit. Beef, the people hating on it though are heightest. They're heightest. Because what if you had a minute ball sized dude on your team and you put him back there to block 60-yard field goals? Everybody's fine with that. Everybody's fine with that, because if he's tall, then it's fine, right? But guy might break his fucking arm. But no, you don't care about that.
Teresi, I get where you're going with that point, but like, I don't think the risk of injury to the tall person is as great as what could happen to the little person, especially during a fake. Because if they all converge on the fake and just smash this poor little guy, he's just going to be like a little jelly person. I don't know.
When you were starting to discuss countermeasures, I thought you were going to say the defense can start throwing a little person at the other little person.
It could. That would be fun. Like,
MSS, what I'm saying though is that you don't want to win football games. Is all I'm hearing out of you. Right
Not
now.
at the cost of another human's life.
That's correct. That's correct. And this is White Sox Summer's outside of the spirit of true White Sox stuff, because this is some Bill Vex shit. This is putting Eddie Goodell in the goddamn game to draw a walk when he's a little person. This is the exact same shit, man.
Did you hear that? Isn't the story though that there was like there's supposed to be a sniper, and he had told Eddie that, because this was that whole joke. Remember that guy?
Yeah.
TikTok, and he said he's like, there's a sniper, so if you don't go out there, he's gonna kill you. And then Jerry made that joke to people. He's like, back when you could shoot the players or something. And then the TikTok agent was like, oh, see how much of an asshole he is. He's like, clearly, sir, this is a joke, but okay, like I don't think they really had a sniper to kill the little person, because I don't think that would have went over very well live audience. Like, I mean, I know people like blood and gore, but like shooting a little person when they're supposed to go up to bat and do something fun, it just wouldn't end well. Like, oh my God, how did that happen? I don't think you can cover that one.
Is as much as I was disagreeing with you on whether or not we should be throwing someone over the line.
Yeah,
I agree. They should not be shot.
They should not shoot little people at the plate.
Like, none of the players should be shot.
Now, one logistical issue here that Jackie Treehorn does bring up is that the ball would be too big for a little one to hold on to in the handoff. So, I mean, you just got to find a little person with, a little bigger hands, or you do the stick them, they put them on the glove.
Exactly.
Stick them. You get away with that shit. That's how the receivers catch it with one hand and shit like that. You really think they're that much better at catching balls today than they were back then? No, they got those gloves. They're covered in glue. I mean, what the fuck? That's how they catch shit.
It's true.
I like that idea. A lot of stick them.
Thank you.
Stick them.
Treasy, how you doing today, my friend?
You won't lose a little person either. You just stick them on the wall. When we need them, we'll pull them down.
They don't have to break tackles, so who cares how much sticking they got on them?
They're fine.
Want to provide you guys with a little update. On the season-long bets. So we were down pretty rough last week. I'm going to say we're still down pretty bad, but the White Sox win total pace is up to 39. from 36.
Fuck yeah.
So with today's win. So we're back on pace for 39. We're about 11 off the pace that we want to be on.
Yeah.
Beef, this is the bigger one. This is the bigger one. The total runs. So they're now pacing at 505. It was 486 last week. So going in the right direction.
I mean, the way I look at it with the run scored, Treasy, as long as we don't get to a point where the White Sox need to score like 4 runs a game, I think we're in good shape. I think we're going to be able to overcome that. The summer's going to come. It'll get warmer. Let's home runs.
I'm with you there. I like that. And then the last one is the Pete Alonso, baby. He's in second right now with 26 RBI in 25 games.
Wow.
MSS, Wilmer Flores, still number 1.
That is insanity.
It won't last.
Insanity.
It won't last.
I have a Kyle Tucker, I think AL MVP or NL MVP or something. I think that's what I have him at. I can cash that out right now and make money. I will make an entire quarter, but I can cash it out right now and make money. I'll get my original investment of $1 plus a quarterback.
Yeah, but you realize that's a 25% ROI on that. What the fuck? That's a good investment. It's
pretty good.
Apparently,
you got to let it ride, Daddy-O?
Oh, I'm letting it ride all season.
What's the original price, MSS? What did you get it at?
I put it. I think it was like plus 18 or plus 22 or something. You know what? I gotta look up some of these long shots that I have, and I can add them to the list there. Most of them are garbage, like my Colson Montgomery. I wish it was Colin Montgomery that I bet, but it was Colson. So yeah,
we get out of that one, man.
It's not good right now. So
that's coming back. Don't worry. I got a lot of faith. I got a lot of faith in that one.
When he comes up and hits 70 home runs in a half season, it's going to be amazing.
I mean, if he hits 17 in a half season,
he could win it. Yeah,
you'd win it. You'd win
true.
it. So MSS, because of all these bad bets, I'm going to need you to pay some bills.
Let's do it.
That is done. The fasting's through. But Lawrence is fun. That's always in view. You prayed. You waited. You gave up the meat. Now treat your soul to that crispy heat. Down on Canal, the fryer don't sleep. 24/7, them flavors run deep. Midnight, sunrise, rain or shine, they're dropping shrimp in that holy brine. But let's talk shrimp, the best in the shy. No one does it better, and that's not a lie. Crispy, juicy, seasoned just right. A bag of joy in the pale street light. So whether you're holy, hungry or both, Lawrence's swears a deep-fried oath. Come hungry, come often, bring the whole block. Cause let Lawrence's baby, yeah, we don't stop.
Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible.
PM Dawn is so fucking jealous.
I know.
Of the track right there, baby.
I was kept waiting for her to say, "I'm just a human." From Fear of a Black Cat.
Yeah.
Little backstory there. Now, we did the 75 video, right? And that was actually that was AI, obviously. We don't have a ska band at our disposal. But they did that, and Bonita was like, "Are you guys gonna sing the song?" And we were like, "No." And she's like, "That's kind of weak." And so I went to Chat GPT for the first time ever in my life, and I was like, oh, fuck this. Like, I'm running. I don't have a lot of time this week. Tell me write me a little jingle. And so something came up, and then we did something else and did more things. And then I got to that. And then I went and was picking up some music. And so I found some music, and I'm looking at the words. I'm listening to the music. I'm like, I could probably just do this really quick. So I did it. And then I found there was a filter that I could put on there. So it didn't make me sound so in your face talking about it and so white. So I was like, let's just throw this on there. And so, yeah, that's what we got. So I wasn't trying to upstage the 75th video, but I wanted Bonita to be happy that I did some white guy rapping. And I also wanted to make it sound kind of funky. So, yeah, there we go.
There's no upstaging. No, the more the merrier, man. Fucking do as much shit as we're going to do. Let's go, man.
Yeah,
no, I like that you did it. I like that you did it, and it was you. It was you, and you went out there. I like it. I like
two takes. I had to split it in half though.
Okay.
I had to split it because there was a couple paragraphs or stanzas that did not fit very well. Like there was ChatGPT doesn't understand that you can't say, hey, don't worry about all the fat that you're getting in this deep fried shrimp. You're okay. Like you can't say shit like that when you're trying to sell shrimp to the people. You know, and like don't think about how unhealthy this is, but it's great.
Keep that away from you.
Yeah, you don't want to promote that.
Now, Beef, it is draft night. The Bears went out and got an offensive tackle.
Absolutely.
You wanted to take us down a trip down memory lane, though, and talk about some older draft picks. We're not quite sure what you got in store for us, but Beef, lay it on us.
I mean, I realized that we probably wouldn't know shit about whoever the Bears picked, and the Bears did pick Colston Loveland, the tight end from Michigan. I know absolutely nothing about the guy.
Tight end, sorry.
Is he right?
Yeah, no, he's tight end. I know nothing about the guy, and neither do you guys. But
No.
we do know a lot about Bears in the past. We're not analysts, but we're big fans of the Bears. So I thought 40 years of first-round picks. Let's just roll through these motherfuckers. Let's just chat it up, talk about who we like out of the group. Well, I'll list them. We'll stop. And we'll talk where we want to talk. And so let me push the first image.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
Hang
boy.
on. That's the wrong image. That's not the right one. Let me get something else.
Why is there an extra pair of legs in there?
Okay. Starting way 40 years ago, starting way back in 1985, William Perry, defensive tackle out of Clemson. That was a 22nd overall pick. Treasy, our dad told me this weekend, we were over there for Easter. He claims that the reason they picked William Perry is because the Bears got embarrassed in the NFC Championship game with the 49ers using Guy McIntyre out of the backfield and just like dominating them as like a blocking back, but he's really like a guard. So he wanted to get a big fat guy that he could put in the backfield.
They did. They got it.
And the way it makes sense because the Bears were kind of stacked on the D line already. Like I was like, why are you picking a D line guy? Like you got a bunch of guys already. Didn't fucking matter. They went with him. 86, Neil Anderson. You guys remember Neil Anderson? That was
good.
Yep.
He was good. He was also like you knew the Peyton years were almost over when they decided.
Yeah.
30, number 35, Neil Anderson.
Yeah, number 35, exactly right. In 1987, they picked Jim Harbaugh, QB out of Michigan.
Yeah, man loves his khakis.
You know what I got to say about Jim Harbaugh? He's fucking Captain Comeback, but he was a fucking garbage quarterback. I don't know if anyone disagrees. Treasy, do you agree with me? He was fucking garbage. He was Captain Comeback, but his comebacks would be his team won like 13-9 because the defense was so good and he sucked the entire game and finally threw one touchdown. Like that.
Yeah, I mean, the defense is still really good through a lot of this time frame here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, he benefited from a defense more than probably most Bears quarterbacks did. Even like McMahon was a guy who could like set the field on fire, but
yeah, he was actually good.
But he also like had one of the greatest defenses. It's still the same defense pretty much at this point.
Yeah, in 87, and absolutely. And that's a couple of years afterwards. In 1988, the Bears made 2 selections in the first round. They had Brad Muster out of Stanford, and they had Wendell Davis out of LSU. Now, Treasy, I don't know if you remember this, but Wendell Davis's knees are still laying.
Oh my God, Veterans
in Veterans Stadium. Yes. Like, I looked him up, bro. Got fucked up, man. They sued the stadium after that.
Yeah, because they had those big seams. They had those big seams. Yes,
that's from where the Phillies were playing.
It's crazy though. Like looking at this and thinking about how different the game was to today. Like, could you imagine a fullback getting drafted in the first round right now?
No.
Like that would be
Not
insanity.
Yes, there's no question about it. 1989, the Bears also had 2 first-round picks back to back. They picked Donald Wolford, cornerback out of Clemson, and then right behind him, Trace Armstrong, defensive end out of Florida. I mean, these are just good, really good players, I think.
Yeah, this was these next and the following year, you just jump to Mark Carrier. Like that's 3 good picks in a row that they got.
Yeah,
that's great.
Absolutely. Yeah, Mark Carrier out of USC. They picked him 6th overall. It was a safety. And then it starts going downhill. 1991, Stan Thomas, tackle out of Texas. Horrible.
The offensive tackle picks, let me just tell you, from 91 for the rest of our lives have not really been good.
When we were like before, when we were little kids or before we were born, they could pick some linemen. That they stopped being able to do that. 1992, they picked Alonzo Spellman out of Ohio State. who was pretty good for a little while. Then I don't know how you say it. He kind of went crazy. He went crazy. Yeah,
he had some problems.
He got a lot of trouble. Not the best. And then to round out this decade, Curtis Conway out of USC, wide receiver. They picked him 7th overall, 93. He was pretty good. Not a bad player. Not whatever. In 1994, they 11th pick overall. They picked John Theory out of Alcorn State, defensive end.
So Theory to me is the start of the Bears saying ridiculous things about their first round pick, because this was like, you want to hear like this guy gets to the quarterback. This guy is just like someone who's going to dominate on the edge, and they're like, his wingspan is incredible. It's like, what?
Yeah, no, you're right, Treasy. This is about the era when the combine starts coming in, and they start like GMs start getting ridiculous and just picking off things like that have nothing to do with really playing football. They're just a component of all the stuff, and it's like, oh, that's why you picked the guy 11th overall. Okay,
I remember the Curtis Conway thing in the combine though, Beef, because I was watching a thing, and this is probably 5-10 years ago or something, and someone's talking about like what you're looking for in the combine, and they're talking about like the explosion that you should have when you're running the 40, and that Curtis Conway absolutely did not have that. He didn't have it in the jump, and they were like, this is going to be a failed wide receiver in the NFL. And I'm like, well, I'm glad we got him. He was okay too. I mean, like, he had an okay career, but like, we had definitely not a number one pick.
Did not become a star, right? Exactly. All right, so the next decade, let's start off in 1995, is Rashawn Salam from Colorado. They picked 21st, boys. Go ahead.
How does he not have his number retired at Colorado?
Yeah. He does.
Does he? Okay,
yeah, he does
have
God. Retired. Yeah.
Thank God.
Yes, I remember, Beef. Rashawn Salam was a guy I drafted in my XFL fantasy league. I can tell you that.
Yes,
I can tell you that. But yeah, it didn't go well. It didn't go well with
Rashawn. Not go well. No, it didn't. Absolutely not. The next year, it was 1996, 13th overall pick, Walt Harris, cornerback out of Mississippi State. Now, I loved Walt Harris, and our friend Polish Onions is like, Walt Harris is horrible. And so we had a long-standing bet that Walt Harris would make a Pro Bowl at some point. I don't think he ever did. I don't know if I've ever paid Polish for that bet, but he was like, this guy's horrible. He's never going to make anything. And he wasn't really very good. I think he ended up washing out of the Bears a few years.
You could Venmo him $5 tonight.
With interest. 1997, no pick. I think it says they traded it to Seattle. Was that when they went and got Rick Meyer? And Rick Meyer came and was horrible.
I believe so.
Hey, he did make a Pro Bowl.
He did make a Pro Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
And, get that money, Beef.
Polish.
2006, he made a Pro Bowl.
Yes.
So he owes you money.
Polish, you owe me money, you son of a bitch.
I can't wait to tell him that. And you tell him that he owes you with the interest, too.
MSS, I can't wait till like we wake up in the morning and like, you know how sometimes Beef will be on after the show, like doing clips and stuff, and you'll get a message from it at like 1 a.m. that you wake up to, and like when you get up, and I will see him berating Polish with extra onions in our group chat.
Yeah, never,
you motherfucker, you owe me $5 from when we were 12.
No, you know what you need to do, Loaf? You got to say you owe me what $5 would be if I had invested that in Apple stock in 1996.
No. See,
that's what you would have done with it.
No. See, this is where you got it wrong. Like, Polish is not the guy you're driving into, because here's the way Polish pays you back. Next time you're hanging out, he forces fucking double whiskeys and cokes down your throat until you can't see. And that's I don't want that kind of payback. I like to imbibe a little bit, but sometimes he goes too far. I don't know if
he'll be like, I'm not going to give you $5. Instead, 15 Jaeger bombs.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. He's trying to kill me out there, 1998, Curtis Enos from Penn State. That was kind of a bust. Curtis Enos was never really good.
Yeah. I don't want to even think about it.
1999. I don't know who we were talking to. We were talking to somebody about this guy. Cade McNown, quarterback, UCLA. I mean, this guy was a king-size douchebag. I mean, just not a good player and a complete jag-off, if I remember correctly.
Wasn't he the one that like he got busted using like the handicap placard in his car, right?
Yeah,
like probably. that's king asshole shit. That's yeah,
absolutely. There's no question about it. 2000, which this was a very famous pick. Not only because this player went to the Hall of Fame, Brian Urlacher, linebacker out of New Mexico. I think Brian Urlacher was actually a safety in college. They converted him to linebacker, if I remember correctly. But it was so funny because at the time, Mike North was the biggest thing on Chicago sports radio. And he wanted the Bears to pick fucking Sebastian Janikowski. Okay? A goddamn motherfucking kicker at 9 overall. Think about how insane that is. People were killing the Bears for picking a punter in the 4th fucking round. He wanted them to pick him 9th overall. And I saw someone go at him recently about this, and he's like, well, Janikowski's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He's still standing behind us.
Like, Jesus Christ.
I see.
I mean, if they had picked McNown that year, then yeah, let's get this drink.
Baby. Oh, nice.
Our guy CJ says, "Are our shitty Chicago teams winning, son? Cheers."
Cheers.
Thank you, CJ. But Urlacher, easily the best pick in these 40 years. I mean, I don't think it's even close.
I saw that comment too.
That's a good one. Our guy CJ also says Paris Hilton and his transplanted beehole hair has no comment at press time.
A plus. I did forget about that. That he and Paris Hilton were a thing, and she would be like in the box at the fucking Bears game. That was a wild time, man. To be a goddamn Bears fan. That was crazy. 2001, David Terrell, wide receiver, Michigan. He was horrible. I wanted him to be good. Treasy, he was horrible. He never played well for the Bears at all.
I remember him scoring like one touchdown in the back of the end zone, and I'm like, it's on. Like now this is going to be great. And then it was not great.
It was not on.
It was not on. Speaking of not on,
I gotta say 2002 tackle Mark Colombo, Boston College. Yeah, exactly. My sock summer. I remember the pick. But then I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I feel like this guy had converted to becoming a coach pretty quickly. Like maybe not even when we're off the screen of years here. Like I don't think he played very much at all for the Bears.
I feel like Colombo was like the first in a line of tackles that they draft where it's like, yes, his back is broken, but he's good. We promise you. Don't worry, he'll heal up nicely.
Now the 2003 draft, the Bears had 2 first-round picks here. And they picked Michael Haynes, defensive end out of Penn State, and Rex Grossman, quarterback out of Florida.
Rex is my quarterback. Rex is my quarterback.
Man.
In the old battle of Rex Grossman versus Kyle Orton, Treasy and I were firmly on the Rex Grossman side from a volatility standpoint. We wanted the guy, he might throw 4 fucking interceptions. But I want the guy, let me give the guy who throws deep and might get some touchdowns here.
I fucking love Rex Grossman. I had the shirt. I had the so it was
Rexy?
the kissing Susie Colbert blog. They wrote this diatribe of, and it's in Rex's it's like in his voice, and the whole thing is just called "Fuck It, I'm Throwing Deep."
Yes,
and they sold a Rex Grossman "Fuck It, I'm Throwing Deep" shirt. You got to unleash the dragon. And I had that shirt until it was insanely tight on me. Like, you know that picture MSS on the Chirizi card?
Yeah,
like
the hoop card.
It was that tight by the time I got rid of it. And it was made worse by the fact that it was like a Ringer t-shirt. So like you can't look fatter than when you're wearing a Ringer t-shirt. So like it was beautiful.
That's a great point, man. You're the arm fat just like there's no question. But Teresa, you're also bearing the lead. You know, in 2006, after the 2006 season in the playoffs, the Bears are playing Seattle. We went down to what was called Juniors at the time, which is on Halstead Street, pretty close to where you live in University Village. We went there for a pregame party and then to watch the playoff game. So Lawrence Holmes is doing like a remote for the score, and like Harold Ramis walks into place for a little bit, and we're all yelling at him and all this shit. And then I think it's CLTV comes through and they want to interview some people. Of course, Teresi always gets picked for everything. He gets picked for this fucking interview, which they never air. Why don't they ever air it, Teresi?
I swore at least 30 times. And like to the point too, like I was inebriated, but like I'm telling them how good it's gonna be, but I'm saying shit like the sex cannon is gonna shove his dick down the throats of the Seattle Seahawks and all this stuff, and like I was like, they finish up and they like walk away, and I was like, oh man, I gotta text everybody that I'm gonna be on TV. And Slim Mick is like, you are not gonna be on TV.
You also called Rex Cannon. You called Rex Grossman throwgasm also during the interview.
Throwgasm, yes.
Throwgasm.
Anyway, that draft okay. I mean, I guess those guys went to the playoffs. 2004, they picked Tommy Harris, defensive tackle out of Oklahoma. Now, out of this entire list, to me, he's the biggest what if he doesn't get hurt. Because I think if he doesn't get hurt the Super Bowl year, they win the Super Bowl. I think there's no doubt that they win it. Yeah, because I think I think he was the table setter on that defense, and then just for his career in general, just like he doesn't get hurt. That's a big what if for me. Yeah. Starting in 2005, the Bears picked 4th overall, and they picked Cedric Benson for some unknown fucking reason. My sex summer, you remember a little Cedric Benson? Or
yes, I do, because I remember people wearing the jersey, and I was like, "What the fuck is this? Who wants a Cedric Benson jersey?"
He was much better with the Bungles. Much better.
Yeah. Later on in his career, for sure. It was weird though because they had Thomas Jones already in tow, and then they picked him, and it's like, well, we're just picking the best available player on the board. And he was like a kind of a weird guy. And then like he died like a motorcycle accident or some shit.
Oh, really?
I don't think it was that long ago. I think, I'm pretty sure that is the case. Yeah, I was going to look him up a little bit here.
There's too many dudes passed away.
He died in 2019, so he's only 36 in Austin. I think it was a motorcycle. I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, go ahead. No, I was going to tell Treasy, you need to Kissing Susie Kohler is a WordPress site. Which is funny, and then you should reread that blog because it has a lot of words we can't say anymore. Like,
different time, kid. Different time.
Yeah, I was like reading it. I'm like, oh man, high school is back. This is the 90s, baby. Holy
it's insanity, but yeah.
It was pretty good.
I didn't write it.
No, I know. I just was saying, like, even the last part of it. This is Rex Grossman we're talking about here. We're talking 210 pounds of twisted steel and sex appeal. I'm not just a gunslinger. I'm a cum slinger.
I mean, that's all the stuff you could say.
You can say that. I can't read.
That's something to be proud to say these days, you know.
Oh, some of this is pretty good. The ending is really good. So actually the other stuff is good too. I just can't admit that it's good right now.
Now in 2006, the Bears had no pick, so they moved down or whatever. 2007, they picked at the end of the draft because obviously they just lost the Super Bowl to the Indianapolis Colts, and they made a great pick. They picked Greg Olsen, tight end out of Miami. Now you guys remember when Greg Olsen came in? First off, he was like kind of a bad boy because like he had been, I guess maybe from the U. He went to the U. He was into some shit at the U or whatever, and then he was really good. And then the Bears made a decision a little later on to bring in Mike Martz as the offensive coordinator, and he's like, "Get this guy the fuck out of here." And so guy went to Carolina and had a terrific career. Yeah. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer, but he's like a Hall of the really good at the position, I would think, right? They fucked that one up, man. But a great pick here for the Bears. I mean, like that, really, really good, productive player. As Treasy was mentioning, 2008, Chris Williams, tackle Vanderbilt. Yeah, I don't remember much of that.
Now, Beef, do you remember this draft day though? Because this was an incredible day.
Stretch run? Was that stretch run?
Yeah. So MSS, we're like, oh, the Score's doing a remote at Stretch Run, which was like this really nice OTB that was ahead of its time. It was 10 years ahead of its time. And so we go up there and it was like $5 buckets of High Life. Oh, right. This is a Saturday. This is back when it was a Saturday, Sunday, the draft. And so it's like 10 a.m. or something on a Saturday.
Yep.
We stay up here at Stretch Run until remember, me and Beef, this is the first year we have White Sox tickets too.
Yeah.
We go straight from there to the Sox game. We go to the Sox game, we're getting drunk at the game, watching the game. Then Vinny Baseball drives us from the Sox game to an all-you-could-drink up on the north side.
Oh,
$30 all-you-could-drink. I was annihilated that day. I feel like
shit.
That Beef, is that the night we yelled at the cab driver who apologized because I was right?
Yeah, I think it was. Where he was starting going the wrong way. And you're like, no,
don't go this way. This dead ends. And he's like, and then he gets to that, and we're like, oh, fuck. He's like, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was very apologetic. That's I do remember that.
That's not yelling, though. That's just
No,
trying
it
to be
was-
helpful.
No,
That's just, we were maniacs because we were
Yeah,
hammered.
it was
That's all it was, you know.
and he was into it, but he was wrong.
He was into it. He wanted to go down that dead.
But yes, on that
golf
day,
course.
and it was that show was like Doug Buffone and Hub Arkish and some of them guys were there. But that was the day they picked Chris Williams, and you know that didn't.
Another guy like already broken, and
Yeah.
they're just like, oh, he'll heal nicely, and then he'll be a tackle.
Or not. 2009 and 2010, the Bears did not have first round picks. They traded them to Denver, and that's so they can get Jay Cutler. Now, Jay Cutler, I was thinking about Jay Cutler the other day. Let me ask you guys, is Jay Cutler the middest quarterback of his era? Just like right in the middle, not really good, but not really bad. Just kind of right in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, like that.
Who else is
Like it's like him and Jake Plummer are like in the same
Are
league.
similar in that
Yeah.
respect, right? Where they make some great plays and whatever, and they might win a game here or there, but they're not really that good. They're not
both
bad.
selling mushrooms now?
You're okay.
Yeah,
having
that's
them,
awesome.
you know?
I would
Have
buy
some
mushrooms from Jake Plummer.
Jake Plummer sells mushrooms. Like he's like,
I know.
like legit. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. He's like a weirdo. Like he used to party at the bar that he got accused that he sexually assaulted some woman there out in Arizona.
geez.
I don't think he did it. But that was the bar that she accused him of it.
Way to bring us down.
Yeah, I know.
That's
That's me.
He was doing it when I was watching. Don't worry. So, 2011, Gabe Karimi tackle Wisconsin. Here's another tackle, Treasy, and it
Jesus
turned
Christ.
into nothing. I don't
Jesus
remember Gabe Karimi at all.
No,
I remember it because I remember he was gigantic. Like that's all I remember about him. And then I don't ever remember him playing. I don't know if he ever did.
Jackie Treehorn says Alex Smith most mid. That would be on my list of mid quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I should put this into a blog. The most mid quarterbacks of my lifetime, and Alex Smith would most definitely be on there. Alex Smith, though, weirdly, after he had that leg injury where he almost lost his fucking leg, then it was like his mission to get back and play again. I was thinking, bro, you already got a ton of dough, man. You need to come back and play. Fucking start a business or some shit. Get the fuck out of here.
start a business. Buy some chicken. Sell some chicken.
Yeah,
Jesus
exactly.
Invest some of that money.
Invest that money.
You need to get some that just in case this
Go
football
home.
thing doesn't work out. Do something.
Go home and fuck your wife. You almost didn't even have a leg. I mean, let's go. Right? You're almost out there like LeVar Ball. I mean, what the fuck? Quit fucking around here, right? All right. 2012, 19th pick overall, Shea McClellan from Boise State, defensive end. Let me tell you something about Shea McClellan. And I remember this at the time.
Jesus Christ.
Even white people were like, what the fuck are they doing? You know what I mean? It was like, usually when you got the racial divide on the draft pick, and if it's on your side, you're really excited. White folks weren't not excited about this guy. And the only thing I remember of Shea McClellan ever, he injured somebody. Did he injure Favre, maybe?
I think he pile drive Favre, but I want to say he also like broke Aaron Rodgers' collarbone.
I was gonna say, yeah, there was some shit like that. Yeah, that might be right. Yeah, I say he injured somebody. And he also, when he went to New England, he had one of those blocked field goals where you jump over the line and fucking jump in there and block. So it's kind of athletic, just not a good football player.
This is still on the same thing we talked about though, Beef. This is in the John Theory role where it's like, oh man, incredible athlete, just not good at football.
Just not good at the thing we're actually trying to do here, but really good athlete though. So don't worry about it. 2013 was Kyle Long, tackle out of Oregon. I remember Kyle Long also. He got in a ton of trouble in college. He was a guard. He wasn't even a tackle, and he barely fucking played. And the Bears just are like, this guy's a great athlete. Now, Treasy, this is the other side of what you're talking about. They finally hit on a guy who's a great athlete.
Yeah.
Now, it was helpful that his old man is a Hall of Famer.
Right.
Like, well, he does kind of know how to play this game. And Kyle Long was really good for the Bears until he got hurt.
He was.
When he was healthy, very good.
Yeah, very good player. 2014.
Hey, Loaf.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Kyle Young was also selected by the Chicago White Sox in the 23rd round of the 2008 Major League Baseball draft.
Kyle Long. Yeah, he was a pitcher, right?
Yeah.
I believe he was a pitcher. He said someone said he threw like 95. And I think they were trying to convince him after his football career. Can you get the arm back going again? Can you get that ship back up?
He did not sign, but he honored his commitment to Florida State University.
Yeah, that's where he started at before he went to Oregon. So that makes
sense.
Then
he left Florida State for academic reasons, following an arrest for a DWI.
Yeah, he had some problems. He had some issues. He grew up once he got to the Bears, but and now he's on TV and stuff. Like when I had John Greenberg on the show, when we were talking about who could fill Danny Parkin's spot, he was a name that John Greenberg brought up. He said if he wasn't already doing national TV, he'd be perfect to like be the lead of a show and like drive time or whatever. And like I agree, but he's like too handsome and too charismatic. He needs to be on TV. Like I don't think radio would work. 2014, the Bears picked Kyle Fuller, cornerback out of Virginia Tech. Totally decent player.
Not bad.
Not much to say.
You're just like, hey, the other Kyle worked out, so let's just stick with
Let's
Kyle
it up. Let's go down the line.
Kyle
this bitch up. Let's do it, man. 2015, they picked Kevin White, 7th overall from West Virginia.
Fucking the David Terrell of this era.
But you know what it was with Kevin White, Treasy? He continually got hurt. And then every year afterwards, it'd be like, it's like we're going to have 2 first-round picks because Kevin White's going to get back healthy again. Our first-round pick from that year. And he never did. He never fucking did anything for the Bears.
The 2 first-round pick. Oh, man, that makes me want to vomit.
Remember those things?
Yes.
2016, they picked Leonard Floyd out of Georgia, 9th overall. Leonard Floyd was a decent player for the Bears, and he was a decent player after he moved on for the Bears, you know?
I don't think they ever put him in a position to succeed in Chicago. I feel like other teams did a better job of using him.
Agreed. Yeah, and when he had a little bit of a supporting cast on the pass rush, he could get free and do some damage for you. 2017, the Bears moved up. They traded San Francisco to pick Mitchell Trubisky, number 2 overall, North Carolina. Treasy, remember laughing about this when they first fucking did it?
Like, why did you trade up for this? Like, why? Like, they're like, even that day, it made no sense, and like everything about it was disgusting. Like, so on top of trading up for him, I remember that they had signed Mike Glennon, and they had him there. Yes. He was like in the building, and they're like, and we're drafting a quarterback. Number 2, we're trading up to draft a quarterback, and that big necked motherfucker, he must have felt terrible. I felt bad for him.
Absolutely right. I remember after they drafted him, I was talking to my boss, and he, friend of a friend, knows Pat Fitzgerald, who used to be the head coach at Northwestern. And I said, "Well, how come this guy only got one Division I offer? You know, Mitchell Trubisky." And it was semantics, but they were like, the general thought was Mitch ain't too bright. Apparently, it's like this guy just ain't too bright, and you need to be pretty bright to be the quarterback. So. That one, Mitch had one really good year.
Yeah,
if we're gonna be honest, that's 2018. We'll get to the draft pick that year. That year they picked 8th overall. They picked Roquan Smith out of Georgia.
Great pick.
I was gonna say, stone cold killer, man. Roquan was terrific. His entire Bears career, they traded him for some stuff. He got the bag with the Ravens. He's still good. Like, he's still a good player in the NFL right now. Now, let me ask you this, Treasy. 2018, the Bears go to the playoffs. That's the double doink year.
Yeah.
Roquan's a rookie, and Mitchell Trubisky has a really nice year that year, whatever. What's the more bullshit Bears team of your lifetime? The phony baloney Bears team of your lifetime? 2018 with that group, or the 2001 team with the fat guys in the middle and all that shit?
So, which was the Trestman playoff team? Which one
Trestman didn't make the playoffs. They missed on the Randall Cobb, the 4th down touchdown. They didn't make the playoffs.
Wait, so it's not Trestman then? I'm trying. Oh, Duran. The Duran.
That's 2001.
That's 2001. Yeah. Yeah, that was a bullshit team. That was bullshit.
More bullshit than 18.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. All right. 2019
bullshit though.
2018 was pretty bullshit as well. I agree. I never believed they were good at all. And I was like, when they lost that playoff game, I was like, yeah, I kind of see that coming. I wasn't surprised.
But not as impressively though, Loaf. Like, you did not see the double doink coming, did you?
No, absolutely not. And actually, I thought, like, as the game was going on, I thought they might squeak by and win this one. Like, I just didn't think they were good.
As good as gold, you know, good as gold.
Yeah. Well, apparently he was in the building watching. Cody Parkey missed that one. So in 2019, 2020, the Bears had no first round pick, and that's because they had traded for Khalil Mack in 2018 to kind of fill that team out. And so that was a smart trade. I mean, Khalil Mack is terrific. 2021, they picked Justin Fields. They moved up, get the Giants pick. I thought Justin Fields would be good, Trees.
I still like this pick. And I know that the outcome was bad, but that was really like a home run swing. And I like when teams take a big swing like that. And so I still like the idea behind the pick. Didn't work out as much as we wanted to, but it's unfortunate. But like that's the kind of thing they'll be. We've talked about this with Rick Hahn, right back years ago.
Yeah,
he fucked up the James Shields trade, and like then he was a pussy after that. Like he was afraid.
He got scared. Yeah.
Do things like, I might this 17-year-old that I'm sending off might turn into Fernando Tatis Jr. And it's like, no, that happened once already. Like you're not going to get struck by lightning again. Don't be a pussy about it. And so like I like when teams really go out and try and do something big. It doesn't always work. But like you got to do that if you want to go all the way. If you want to be a team that's in the Super Bowl, that's in the World Series, you got to have some balls every once in a while and do something crazy.
And hope for the best.
Yeah, absolutely. Gamble it up a little bit. 2022, no pick. They traded it to the Giants to get Fields, and they moved up. 2023, they picked Darnell Wright, tackle out of Tennessee.
We'll still see what that is. We don't know yet.
Absolutely, that's open. They had traded down with the Panthers to get their number one pick the following year, which in 2024 turned into Caleb Williams, number one overall QB out of USC, and then they also got Roma Dunze, number 9 pick, wide receiver out of Washington. Those obviously the jury's out on those, but you're probably happy about those in general. Still going into year 2, even though they didn't have a great first year.
Not as depressed.
Not as depressed there. So.
I forgot that was Leonard Floyd. Great comment from Vita Vega. It says Floyd went on to injure Rodgers in the first snaps with the Jets.
He should be commended for all that. So that's 40 years of Bears first round picks because we know nothing about the current pick. So we might as well fill in those prior years. Christ. Yeah, I mean, there's some dismal picks in there, and some trades maybe you want back. I don't know.
I mean, I do miss the days of the Bears just having that insane defense, even like obviously in the 80s that we were talking about, but then the Urlacher defense too. Was it like him and
yes?
Oh man,
so much fun. Yeah, Charles Tillman, all those guys. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Peanut.
It's crazy that like Peanut Tillman is a guy that other than being an FBI agent now, other than that, like he had a lasting effect on the game. Like like there's the peanut punch is a thing, and people practice it now. Like you see like drills for doing it, and it's like that's crazy because like I remember when he was doing it, we were like, "Is that legal?"
Right? They're gonna change the rules. They're not gonna let him do that shit anymore. He just punched them all out of there. Then everyone started doing
it. That's good shit.
All right, MSS. You know what time it is?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Here we go. Tired of driving something that feels like it's stuck in winter? Shift into spring with a brand new Mazda from Mazda of Orland Park. Sleek design, Sky Active performance, tech that gets you and your playlist, an MPG that will make your wallet wanna dance. From the sporty Mazda 3 to the adventure-ready CX-5, we've got the perfect ride for your spring road trip, daily commute, or spontaneous ice cream run, because you can now. Special spring gigs are rolling in now. Trade in, trade up, drive out, renting. Located just off 159th Street in Orland Park. Stop by today or shop anytime online at MazdaofOrlandPark.com. Mazda of Orland Park, home of the Zoom Zoom Nation. Drive something that actually gets you.
This is like
it's fucking great.
This is like when Jordan dropped 63 in the Garden. I mean like that's that kind of night. That kind of night. I'm feeling
those are two terrific ad reads, man.
Less of a backstory on this one, but like before, right? I had music muted, when I was recording the ad, and I had flipped it over because when you're trying to white rap, you have to listen to the beat, kind of to like maybe try to get it on right. So I did that. And then when I started that, that's why I was so surprised, because the music came right in my ear and I was like, whoa, yeah. And then I was like, this was so funny. I'm like, I just got to keep it in there. I go, people might not know if it's actually live or is it recorded? Is it live or is it Maxwell? You know, or what, right? Whatever that commercial was.
My God, I love it. It threw me off. Because
you did raise your hand.
Might be drunk.
People can't see when you raised your hands. I'm like, yes.
When it started, I just went, yes. But it is time. It is Treasy might be drunk and White Sox talk. All right, guys. We're 15% into the season. Tell me one thing that you have learned about this White Sox team. My Sox summer. I'm going to go to you first, my friend.
The one thing that I've learned, and I'm going to go positive on this. The kids are at least trying out there to try to win a game. Like, it doesn't seem as depressing, and maybe it's just because they're new faces and we haven't seen them for 4 years underperform. But like last year, it just felt more depressing when you saw guys getting hurt and them not performing, and you're just like, oh, this is bad taste in your mouth. This is actually not horrible baseball. I mean, it's not good baseball, but you at least have more of a thought that they're at least trying to win a game when they're out there. What do you guys think?
I'm with you there that it does. The baseball itself looks better, right? I mean, like
yes.
Let's remove the Lenine Sosa taking one off the mitt and throwing it into left field. But
hey, that happens. All right. What the fuck?
I mean, that's really the only time I've seen that out of him this year. Like, by now, usually it's Chuck Knobloch throwing the ball in the stands 15 times, right? Like, so I agree with you. Like, the baseball itself just looks a little better. Looks more like a bad team instead of an incredibly bad team.
Right.
So yeah, I get where you're coming from on that.
Yeah.
My Sox summer, I agree 100% with you. Let me tell you, I was busy trying to clip this tweet I put out the other day. So I put this tweet the other day. I said, the 2025 White Sox might be as bad as the 2024 White Sox, but at least they play through the whistle. And what I mean is, some of these games, the game on Sunday that they came back and won, they're not winning that last year. The game on the first game in Minnesota, the Tuesday night game, where they're down, but then they mount a rally in the ninth inning, and the ball that Byron Buxton makes that fucking diving catch on that stops them from tying the game, they're not in that game in last year. So there's like a different level of, hey, look, we're just going to give a good plate appearance still. We're going to play hard on defense, and whatever shit happens. They still have no talent. I mean, we kind of know it. You knew it coming in. Like, they ain't got no talent. But right now, it at least looks like, hey, we're going to give every last effort to win this game. And when it doesn't work, tomorrow we're going to do the same damn shit. Yep. And there's not a lot of people moping on the field, and there's people giving it a shot. Now, can they keep it up for 162? We're going to see. Not. But so far, it looks like that to me. I agree 100% with you.
Well, thank you.
Beef, what's the one thing you've learned so far?
The one thing I learned, I'm reticent to do any blogs the first month of the season. I just don't feel like I know what I'm seeing out there, but the one thing I know I have seen is that we have ascended to White Lurie. Okay. Brooks Baldwin has become White Lurie. And I kind of saw it coming. The way they were working with him in spring training, it's like, he's not playing shortstop. He's playing all over the place. And then when they open the season and you realize Colson Montgomery is not making the team, and they're letting Jacob Amaya make the team, I'm like, okay, Jacob Amaya is the strongest shortstop they have. But doesn't mean you got to play him every day. You can hide him or whatever. And they really didn't use Baldwin at short hardly at all. They said, you're going to play corner outfield this day. You're going to play this spot. You'll play second. We'll use you to pinch hit, whatever, And he's got a lot of Lurie characteristics. He's a switch hitter as well. He runs really well. Doesn't always make good decisions running, which also fits with Lurie. I mean, he didn't get picked off third, but he's been doubled off like 6 times already, or at least as many as I can remember. And so they realized, like, look, we're grooming you for this role. This is your fucking role. This is what you're doing. And I love it personally. Like, why dick around? You know what you want this guy to be, and you know what this guy's ceiling kind of is. Just let him learn this craft. Let him be the guy that is your utility guy. Let him be White Leary. I don't mind seeing White Leary out there. Fine, let him do what he's doing. And you know what? We'll like him a lot longer if he's in that role than if they try to press the shit out of him in an everyday role, which he doesn't end up.
I'm with you there.
They do that to so many. They did that to Romy Gonzalez. And guess what? Then they get rid of Romy Gonzalez. He goes to Boston. They let him just hit left-handers. He's a contributor on the roster. They got to start figuring that out. And I think with this regime, they are starting to figure that out. It's baby steps to me, though.
You know what I like here, Beef, is that they did not fall in love with, oh, this guy is just a great fielder to be this kind of role. Like they've done that in the past where it's just like, oh, we need the glove first guy for this. And it's like, you know what? Can we get a guy that might run into a fucking pitch every once in a while and hit a home run or like hit a double down the line? Like, I don't want, like, when that guy's in the lineup for the day, I don't want it to be like, well, here's 4 automatic outs. And for some reason, you're batting in the middle of the order. Like, so I like that, like, they found a guy that he's not great at any position, but he's good enough at every position. He's not a great hitter, but he's a good enough hitter. It's a good bench guy.
It's a good bench guy.
They got an okay bench now. Now they need, start. The bench is looking good.
Well, it is weird too to like the first position player that you're really getting adjusted out of the long-term group here is the utility guy. But in a way, I think that's okay because then as you let everything else settle, you can figure out if you need to use that guy for half a season at a spot because you just don't have a guy or because there's an injury. In the meantime, you let everything else grow up around it and you see where you end up being. So like initially I thought this is insane that they're doing it this way, but then I thought, no, that's okay. It's actually reasonable because you let these guys, you let it settle wherever it settles. He can fill in wherever it needs to be. And I think he's been totally fine. Like, I think there's a group of fans who really love him for some unknown reason. They just like think he's like a grindy ball player or whatever. And I think there's a group of fans that are like, oh, that guy's not any good. But I think it's somewhere in between. He's just like, seems like a totally competent utility guy. And it's fine. It's good. I like it.
He reminds me of like watching the movie Rookie of the Year when there's a kid out there playing and you're like, you're not sure if he's actually the age that he says he is because every time I look at him, he's got the dust stash to try to make himself look more like older.
Which might be chocolate milk. You don't know. You're not even sure.
Like,
you don't know.
You can't even grow a proper mustache. You're so young. And then he's got the chains on because he's like, oh, I'm going to be gangster. People will respect me because they think I'm older. No, it looks like you're weighing your neck down a little too much. I'm just worried about him because he looks so young. He should embrace the youngness and then like get like, the kids' meals or something when they're out or something. Who knows?
I know where this is going.
Where's it going?
You're trying to start a rap battle against.
Yes.
Once I get my
the old guys always do try to start against the new guys. That's what it is.
As soon as he started talking about the chains, I was like, I know where this is going.
I don't have an appointment with Vino, but I will be down there hopefully this weekend picking out my Cuban link chain that is silver. It's going to be silver. So you get ready. Get ready for my flyness.
When MSS shows up to the game on Tuesday in like a full Adidas jumpsuit, holding a microphone, we know what's going on.
with one of those the Kangol bucket hats, that's furry, and then I'm just ready to go.
I love it.
Okay, so Trey brings up because I irrationally like him because he just kind of came out of nowhere and rose up the system. But yeah, he's just all right when you think about it. Yeah, and I think it's okay to irrationally like him for that reason. That's a good reason. Like I saw someone, I'm trying to think of who it was. Someone else that we're friends with is like, it's kind of cool that a guy came from like lower in the rankings and shot up here and was like, is a guy who's on the roster and like no one's debating it. Everyone's just like, God, that guy should be here. Like no one's questioning the shit at all. So like that's a good thing. I agree.
And you know what's good too is used for us to use as a gauge. He is better than Danny Mendick.
Oh yeah.
People love Danny Mendick.
Correct.
This is a better version of that.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Yep. Danny Mendick walks so Brooks Baldwin could run.
What White Larry? How dare you?
I wish Danny Mendick would have never walked. But like, so so we talked about this a little bit last night, and I talked about this with Josh in the playback last night. I'm very concerned about the White Sox ability to pitch all the innings they need to pitch this year. And so the thing that I've learned so far, they can't strike anyone out. Like they don't have, like none of their guys have a good strikeout pitch. No one has a good put away pitch. The whiff rates are they're mediocre. It's not like anybody's like. There's a couple guys that are terrible at it, like Bryce Wilson, terrible whiff rates.
Yeah, right.
Unfortunately, a few of our starters have terrible whiff rates.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is when these are like average to below average whiff rates, what you're seeing, and the Tigers game was the epitome of this. They can't put guys away. So good hitters are just fouling the ball off until they get walked or until they make a mistake and throw them a good pitch to hit. And the additional problem on top of it just being you're going to get banged by the good hitters is with Martin Perez out now, you've got all young guys, and you're going to have to ask them to throw a ton of innings.
Right.
And so you start looking, you're like, okay, well, who can come up and absorb some of these innings? Right. And it's like Schuster. Like Nastrini and Iriarte don't seem like they're ready to do anything. Owen White is like, okay, he's mediocre at Charlotte. Like,
right.
That guy's going to have to eat a bunch of innings this year. Like you start looking and the thing that scares me about it is that they're going to have to come to a decision at some point of, are we going to throw out terrible starting pitchers to eat up these innings? Or are we going to start pulling these guys up from AA that maybe are not quite ready and start throwing them into the fire? And I don't think they'll do that. No. So I think we're going to be stuck watching like Nick Nastrini go 6 innings of terrible baseball.
Yeah, I think
and like that's the thing that I'm like, it's one of those things it's just out in the distance, but I could see it coming. And like that's the thing that's worried about, because the whiff rate thing is bad, and it's showing up in late innings of games. And like if you're watching these games and you're like, I feel sick to my stomach watching these relievers, like of nerves, it's because of this. It's because they don't strike anyone out.
Bubble guts.
And so I'm hoping guys like Cam Boozer can just pick it up even a little bit and have some great innings, but like there's not many of those guys on this team. And you talked about it, Beef, earlier in the season. We talked about this where like you don't have any of those big fireballers. You don't have any of these guys with these sliders that just fall off the table. So like it's scary. That's there is a just on the horizon an even worse pitching staff than what we have right now.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Treasy. And this is like I want to talk about this a little bit too in the next segment where we discuss some of these pitchers. But like, yeah, I think it's like a little bit of impending doom. Now the thing is, they kind of have a lot of these guys bred the same. So what they could do in theory, like when you're worried about the amount of innings, is they could stretch Bryce Wilson out. They could stretch Mike Vasil out, right? Yeah. There's no reason you can't, like you mentioned Nick Nastrini. Like I was thinking like, well, yeah, if he ever, even if he doesn't really get his shit together, that's another guy who you could throw up here. And like, there's no consequence of putting him up here as far as like risk to him or development or anything like that. But I think that they have hedged the entire way to protect the development side of this. So I don't think they'll early hatch anybody. I don't think you're going to see any of that, but you may see them really fishing around on the waiver wire and trying to grab guys that they think could eat up some innings. Someone that doesn't have enough room or that has an opt-out. The opt-out guys, whatever point they're coming, they're going to come here. I mean, like, so we're going to be getting some innings, Well,
we were talking on. So Josh asked me last night on the playback, and he's like, "What do you think about picking up Tristan McKenzie?" And I said, do you think that I was like, I'm going to respond to you with a question. I was like, do you think the Sox could figure out what the Guardians couldn't?
Right. No.
If I think of anyone who I look at as like, oh, they'll figure it out with this pitcher, it's the Guardians. Yeah. And to say like, they don't get it, but we get it.
Yeah, no, they cut him. They cut him because his arm's fucking toast. I mean, that's the bottom line. I mean, like, it sucks. He was a good pitcher
working in there. I like the kid. And I like a couple of years back, we did the X Factor thing, and he was my X Factor.
Yeah,
for the Guardians. And so, I always did like him, but I don't want the Sox to pick him up. I don't think it'll work.
Yeah, like when the Chris Flexens of the world get to the point where they can opt out of a contract or they need to be brought up, those are the guys that are going to opt out and they're going to come right here. and we're gonna say, okay, we're gonna plug you in as the fifth starter or whatever the fuck. I mean, like, I think that is kind of what you're gonna be looking at as teams start shedding that stuff. But we'll see. But I think they're gonna keep shifting around. I don't think they I don't think they put anyone in harm's way. I'll put it that way.
I like that.
That's a good call.
Trey says, I was sick to my stomach with the relievers today, and then thank God the game ended. I was thinking the same thing, Trey. And the seventh thing, I was thinking, this is plenty. Just say this game's fucking over and give us our victory and get the fuck out of here, man. I was so happy to see that.
And thank Christ they did it, and they weren't like, they're not starting it back up right now. It's like, thank you for being smart and just saying, okay, this is it. Let's just go. It's early in the season. Get them the fuck out.
All right, now that I've teed it up, the next question for you guys is, out of the three young starting pitchers that aren't Shane Smith, which one are you most worried about? Beef, I'm going to go with you first.
And if I may, I'm going to share screen because I think it's worth putting up some stats from Fangraphs. So we'll put these up right now, and we'll slide us over to the side. So, Tracy, you were bringing up an interesting point about the strikeouts, lack thereof. And in my opinion, and you guys think this should be a little bigger?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, let's see. All right.
There you go.
That works, right?
Whoa.
Pretty big, right?
Yeah.
You love my size, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
So, Trace, you were mentioning the lack of strikeouts. And initially when I put this question up there, I thought, well, I mean, the guy that I'm most worried about, it's got to be Sean Burke. But I realized it's not as I started to dig into numbers a little bit. Really, the guy that I'm most worried about is Davis Martin. And I'll tell you why. And it is the lack of strikeouts, Treasy. Like, Davis Martin was, when he was pitching well, a 21, 22% strikeout rate guy. And I have the K percentage up here. And just to, people are watching, you get K per 9, but you also get K percentage. In my opinion, K percentage tells you a little more of the truth, because K per 9 could be, you gave up a bunch of fucking base runners and you only struck out the guys that were the most susceptible to being struck out, whereas K percentage is based off of the total batters you faced. So it does not allow you to hide behind anything. And so when I look at the K percentage out of this group, Burke, Cannon, and Davis, Cannon is above where I would expect him to be. He's actually fine, right? So like there's no issue with regards to like where I would think he would be. Davis Martin, to me, is well below where he'd be, and so is Sean Burke. But the issue with me is Martin, because Martin, for some reason, when I was looking up his Baseball Savant page, Teresi, his slider went from being a very effective pitch to a total piece of shit that they are knocking the hell out of, and he's not getting a lot of mileage out. Also, he's using his changeup. They made a big deal about the kick changeup or whatever that he was throwing. He's using it a lot more, and it's a totally fine pitch, but it's not substituting for the amount of whiffs that the slider was getting and the effectiveness there. So I wonder how much of this is just like you're falling in love with certain pitches that you really like, but those pitches really aren't the best pitches for you to be throwing. Like a re-examination of repertoire here. I hope that's what it is, because if it's a loss of stuff, and we're looking at a sub 15% K rate for Davis Martin going forward, I mean, when I looked at these three guys before the year, I thought to myself, well, John Cannon's obviously like a number 5 starter type. Burke has a lot of volatility in his profile, but Davis Martin's a grade above. And when I look at them today after 5 starts, I look at 3 guys competing for the same fucking position, and that's the 5th starter spot. And that's a little scary to me. So for me, Davis Martin is the one that I'm most terrified about. And Johnny Cannon is the one that I feel most comfortable is just a tweak or two away from that walk rate going down and him being totally good Johnny Cannon.
So the Jonathan Cannon thing, Beef, I just feel like he's going to be the one pressed for the most innings. Like they are like, I think he's already established. They've already established him as the back of the rotation guy. I think they still have faith in Martin and Burke to be middle of the rotation guys. But like Cannon is established at the back of the rotation, and they're going to be like, hope that arm holds up. Like,
well, he's also the guy who was stretched out last year, so he did throw kind of almost a full load. I agree with you, Trees. I think if you're looking at a guy to throw 150 innings out of anyone on this roster, it's Cannon for sure. Like they're counting on him, man. If anything happens to him, that we are super fucked as far as like finishing the year.
I like that you said 150. I'm thinking 180 out of Cannon. They're gonna.
I mean, it may. It's 32 starts or 33 starts, depending on how it lays out. So we'll see. I mean, he's got to get more effective for that to be the case. Because the other night we were at the game, I mean, they pulled them out 4 1/3. It was like 2 times through the order, get the fuck out of here type shit. And it's like, I understand you're trying to win, but Will, we got to get through 162 games, bro. We got to make sure we got enough innings for everybody.
I can't wait for the post game. Will, you left Jonathan Cannon out there for 145 pitches. What were you thinking?
He was that tired.
Have you seen our bullpen?
Yeah. Take a look at those guys over there in the pen.
MSS, who's scaring you the most?
So originally in my head, and the other night, it was Jonathan Cannon. And he started off in that game, and he looked like doggy doo-doo. And we were like, this is not good. But then he righted the ship. And so that gave me pause. And I agree with Loaf. He's probably the least one I'm worried about, because I went and looked at numbers. I didn't look at fancy numbers from Fangraphs. I go to Baseball Reference. But like,
I love Baseball Reference.
What I like about Cannon, and we've known this from like last year, they send him down to work on some shit. He can make those adjustments, and he makes the changes, and he gets back. Now, I have faith in him that at some point he's going to figure it out and not suck for 2 innings and then turn it around the next 3. Right. So like, I'm confident that he will do that at some point. The person that I am most worried about is Sean Burke. And now it's not just because of his abysmal looks after the opening day start. He was great. Opening day, we're like, hey, they struck gold twice. Right? You're like, the guy comes out of nowhere. What the fuck? They got it. They know what they're doing. Look at these guys. Good job. And then it just has not returned to that form since then. And why it concerns me, and I'm most worried about him, is that he's the dude. He's the one that they think is the best, and he is clearly not the best at this point. So if he's not figuring something out, he's not making adjustments, or he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing, this is the guy I need. We got to send him down, let him figure it out, which it's going to hurt us. That's going to hurt us a lot, because he's supposed to be the guy. And that's probably the one that concerns me the most, is that he was put in the stud position, and he is not the stud.
And my Sox summer. So I'm in the same boat as you. I Burke is the most concerning to me. And the reason that Burke is concerning to me, and it's along the same lines of what you're talking about, right? Like, he's supposed to have the electric stuff, right? And so his most electric pitch is where he gets the most whiff rate, where his best put away pitch is his slider. It's also the pitch that's getting absolutely destroyed. So like he like if it's working, he'll get you on it. If he's hanging it, here's the current slug percentage against his slider is 629.
Oh my God.
That is helped. That is helped by BABIP luck. His expected slug is on that pitch is 766.
Holy shit.
The expected batting average is 338 on this pitch. So like, there's some BABIP luck to what's happening to him right now.
Yeah.
And what's happening to him now is bad. Like, so
it's already not good.
so it's like, that's where I'm concerned, is like, if he can't, and command and things have been his problem his entire time. Yeah. And this is more of a command of the pitch and not keeping it out of the zone, right? It's he when he has good chase rate on this pitch, it's really good. But if he's hanging it and leaving it in the zone, it is getting crushed. He's got 4 home runs already hit off the slider. So like, this is where I'm concerned. Like, if he can't get that together, he's one of those guys that, like, it's a huge feast or famine outing, right? Where like, we've had guys like this in the past, and it's like, you might get 6 great innings out of this guy, or he's out of there in the first inning. And like, that's a concern to me. Like, and especially when what we just talked about with the innings, right? Like, we can't have a guy that's just like, oh, it's not his day, 2 innings, right? Like, it's just not going to work. So that's why Burke is my concern. MSS, I think we are seeing the same thing, right? Like, of like, this is supposed to be the guy. He's supposed to have electric stuff. And when it's not electric, it is the exact opposite. Right. It is garbage time. So that's my biggest concern.
I think MSS brought up a great point about Jonathan Cannon, about why we shouldn't be concerned. None of us seem to be too concerned about Cannon, but it's not only like he was able to make the adjustments. With regards to that, it's the athleticism to make the adjustments, one, but it's also the makeup to say that's not working. Let's try this other thing. We'll move on from it, and not getting married to whatever a repertoire is and saying, okay, well, that's done. We're going to move on to something else. That's good. That's progress, in my opinion. So I think as a group, we're kind of like, Johnny Cannon has not been that good, but we think he'll be better going forward. The reason why I didn't pick Burke like you guys did, I'll be honest with you, is I expected some volatility to come out of this to start, but also he took a ball off of him in that opening start. And I wonder how much there is still like some bruising, some injury, little shit he's got to pitch through. I wonder if Martin Perez were healthy right now, if he wouldn't be getting 10 days on the IL just to like rest it out. And he can't do it now because he's going to be forced to start. It doesn't matter. But like, that can affect, the effectiveness of your pitches or whatever. And like, yeah, you're right. He's been abysmal. But he hasn't been as wild as kind of the other guys. When we were talking about the walk rates and everything like that. I mean, his walk rate isn't great, but it's only 8.8%. That's not a lot for him. Like he was like a 10% walk rate guy in the minors. So he's throwing some strikes trees
because the sample's so small. Because he had that first game where he like didn't walk anybody.
Yeah, you're thinking it keeps creeping up.
Yeah,
it keeps going up.
It's bad after that. It's bad after that first game.
So I wonder too about this whole thing we've been talking about. There's no strikeouts. I wonder how much of it is because in the opening week, Treasy, you mentioned you thought the MO
they were playing
the game plan was throw strikes and don't worry about striking out a lot of people. And like you can't do that against every team. You get lit up against certain teams. The Oakland A's will light your ass up if you do that shit to them, right? You cannot. They'll hit a bunch of balls out of the ballpark, right?
Yeah. And so tangent there, Beef.
Yeah.
Are we betting overs all weekend?
I think so. Yeah,
like we got to put like our life savings on it, right? Like
I think so. I don't know if the market's caught up yet, but why not? There's no reason not to gamble a little bit,
I don't think you should put your life savings on it. I'm just going to throw that out there.
How dare you?
It's only $38. It's fine.
It's in a ball of lint.
All right. Let's get off the pitchers for a minute. Or maybe we're going to stay on the pitchers. I don't know, because this is going to be a question out to you guys. What is the White Sox Twitter take that you are already sick of? And MSS, I'm going to go to you first. What's the White Sox Twitter take that you're already sick of?
Boys, I forgot this was even in the agenda, and I shared my take that I am sick of seeing already, the 15% through the season. And it is people complaining about the lineup. Listen, you cannot go into the season like you did at Sox Fest and say, who are these guys? I don't know who these guys are. Where are these guys? Where have they done? Where is this? And then go in and say, I cannot believe that they're batting this guy this way or the way that this is gone. Why does he keep adjusting the lineup? Why has he made more changes? Because then it just goes into because then they're like, well, what are you supposed to do? And then a person lays it out. Now, if Will Venable continually keeps the same lineup consistently, people are going to say, why doesn't he just mix this up and see if he can find some type of thing to work? And then when he mixes it up, they're like, why can't he be consistent and just keep the same people in the thing? Folks, when you lose this many games and you know you're going to lose this many games, you are in the fucking kitchen throwing spaghetti at the wall to see if it sticks. And you know what? Sometimes he gets lucky. You fucking roll the dice. You have like nine fucking dice in that fucking cup, and you throw it out, and sometimes you get good scores. Okay, and he does that every so about every seventh game he gets a good score. So it's just give him a fucking rest. Give it a rest. I don't need to hear your fucking takes. You're not any better. You already called the players trash. You said they suck. So it doesn't matter where they're batting. Let's just figure it out. Let's get through this together.
That's great. MSS, I almost tweeted the other day because Nick Maton was leading off, and I was like, what the fuck why is this guy even on the team? And I almost tweeted like, why are they leading off Nick Maton? And I looked at the lineup and I was like, well, who the fuck else are you gonna lead off? It doesn't.
Right.
That's why I put a tweet out this morning, and I told you, Treasy, actually it'd be a better bit for you. I said, I'm going to explain the entire White Sox lineup position by position because I'm sick of seeing why they put this guy here. Oh, my God, it's the end of the world. They got Joshua Palacios leading off or whatever the fuck. It's like, it's a garbage lineup no matter how you mix up. Right. You can fucking put the names in a paper bag and throw them on the floor and see what way they land, and that's the lineup. Who gives a fuck?
He might be doing that.
Put some color to, like, here's why this guy's playing. Here's why that guy's playing. You know, and even the guy I said who has no power but good glove, Miguel Vargas hit a fucking gigantic home run today. So sometimes they'll surprise you. So just let it roll, baby. Just let it roll.
Yes.
You know, don't worry.
I got some good news for you.
Yeah, put it up. I
the
love
porn
it.
The porn bots are back.
Baby.
Porn bots are back.
Welcome. Enough of you watching the stream right now that the porn bots are like, listen, I need to get in there and promote our fucking smut. This is awesome.
Welcome from over on Twitch, alarming underpass Kauai.
Please don't go over there. It doesn't look legit.
Don't click. Don't click on that.
Do not remove.
I already did. Too late.
Go there.
I already came. Beef. What are you tired of?
I wish I could find this tweet because I've seen it a bunch of times and it cracks me up every time I see it. And tired of it may be the wrong thing. I just think it's so insane that every time I see it, I'm like, come on, you for real on this? But when I see the tweets that say, just bring up everyone from Charlotte, it's got to be better than this.
No.
Whoa, boy, no, does it not? Because I don't know if you've checked the Charlotte Knights record lately, but coming into today, the Charlotte Knights in the International League in AAA were 8-15. They're near the bottom of the group right there. And I even so much so the other day we were in the ballpark, we were laughing about how bad the record was. And Alex Root turned to me and he goes, is Sergio Santos on the hot seat? They suck so bad. So I don't think we need to bring everyone up there. There might be a guy or two that would be a good idea to bring up, but bringing the whole group up, I don't think it's going to get it done. So let's just cool it on that. I know the team stinks up here. It's a work in progress, but we don't need the Charlotte guys to stink it even more, okay?
All I want to comment on there is Sergio Santos is not on the hot seat because there's no one with enough balls in this organization to tell that big motherfucker that he's fired.
Right?
That's true.
But also,
that is very true.
It's like fucking Eddie and Seinfeld. They're like, well, we got to bring you in here. You're promoted.
you have not heard. This is the easiest way to show people you're not paying attention to anything that's going on in the minors because they were hot for a week and then they stopped and you haven't heard shit about them. So if you're still trotting that fucking line out, we know you haven't been paying attention for 4 weeks, which is fine. I'm not complaining. Like, listen, you get busy. I understand it. But don't just say, oh, you gotta like there's like you said, love, there's a couple guys that yes, we should probably bring up, and some of them they have, but they definitely don't need to bring the entire team up because no, it's not better. It's not better.
Also,
very bad.
Be careful what you ask for. Be careful what you ask for. Because we're getting a little too much Bobby Dahlbeck at shortstop for my liking.
Okay, let me just say though. Okay, you're right, Teresi, but that is funny for like a day or two, right? It's like with that big motherfucker. When I saw him pencil into the lineup, I was like, well, when they put him in there and at the end of the game last night, I looked at Baseball Reference like, has this dude ever played shortstop? And apparently he has 22 innings at short in the majors before.
We had this conversation on the playback last night because I brought up to Josh and Jim was on too. Yeah. And I was like, why are we taking a run at Bobby Dahlbeck? Because I felt, and I think you probably feel the same way, Beef. Like he got way too much run in Boston.
Yeah.
Like there was a point where you're like, this guy strikes out against everybody.
Yeah, this is
why are they like holding Tristan Cassis back for Bobby Dahlbeck? This is so weird. And so I was asking them about it, and Jim made a good point. It's like he's an athletic dude where you could kind of move him around to some different positions, and the power's there. So there's probably just still teams that kind of still believe in him, and so like you're just trying to tap into that resource one last time. He's like, if the Sox don't do it, it's probably over for him, right?
Yeah.
So we're like, I was like, I like the athleticism thing. We're talking about it. And then as soon as we talk about that, they're like, they make a substitution. It's like Bobby Dahlbeck's at shortstop.
Not that athletic though. Like he's kind of athletic, but maybe shouldn't be there all the time. Like that's,
so I thought
start him today.
Yeah, I was like, okay, well, it was a situation where it just put him there. He could handle it for a couple innings, and then they're like starting at shortstop. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
You know what though? That was another, in my opinion, that was another strategic play from it's raining. We need some offense. We can always get Amaya into the game later. And they brought Amaya in to run later on for someone, and then they
for Vaughn.
Yeah, for Vaughn. That's right.
I was looking at this. I was like watching the game cast, on MLB, and like I saw Amaya go in for Vaughn, and I was like, they were just hoping that Vaughn would get on base today so they could pinch run for him. The plan for the onset.
Every time there's a weird guy up there, though, I always just think like maybe Ryan Fuller had something to do with this. Maybe Ryan Fuller's like, look, let's try this thing with this guy, last ditch effort. Let's do it. And with all of these guys, you got nothing but plate appearances to give people, man.
Yeah.
Try to mine some gold, baby. Let's see if we can find anything out there. What the fuck?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like when they brought Delbeck up instead of Elko, I was suspect of it. I was like, why not just bring up Elko? Because it's a similar, it's a similar
a lot
style.
of strikeouts, but power. Yeah.
I didn't know Delbeck was a shortstop. So now I'm gonna take that back.
That's lovely.
So for me,
yeah, Teresa, what do you got?
The White Sox Twitter thing that I'm already sick of is you motherfuckers crying about Gavin Sheets.
Yes.
All right, look. First of all, like I wish Gavin Sheets nothing but the best. They played him out of position here. He did everything he could for this team. It just didn't happen. But we have seen this Gavin Sheets before. This isn't like new Gavin Sheets.
Mm-hmm.
This is the same as Gavin Sheets that we've seen before. This is his last year in April. And
good looking line in April.
Yeah. And I'll direct you to the third from last line. The months that Gavin Sheets is good, that BABIP is insane. And it does make sense though. If Gavin Sheets can hit line drives, he's fine. He's fine. But he can't. He can't consistently do that. And there's nothing different about him this year from previous years. His swing looks the fucking same. Like it's like he hasn't like there's nothing that's been fixed from what I can tell. So I hope that he did fix something. I hope that this goes on all season. But he's got almost a 400 BABIP right now. There's nothing else in his line where you're like, well, this has changed, so this is the thing. It's the line drives is the only thing different. And it's like everybody's out here pissing and moaning, like, oh my God. He was the only thing that was holding him back was being on the White Sox. And it's like, no,
not
he
really.
was this. He was this here. Enjoy the summer. So I'm just a little annoyed by how much of that shit is in my feed. Just people whining about of all the things to whine about. Like there's plenty on this current roster to complain about. You're out here like pining for Gavin Sheets. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I also agree with that. It's just like, listen, I hate Andrew Vaughn too, but let's not make fucking Gavin Sheets something that he isn't. It's okay. We would be pissed if he was still playing first base. We would still be asking for Tim Elko to please come up. It's like give us something new because this is no.
Yeah, because they'd make him face lefties.
I was gonna say, that's one of the keys. Maybe he'll probably have a little better year in San Diego because they won't put him against a bunch of lefties, or make him play right field for an extended period.
Yeah, I like that they're having him play first base and having him only against righties. Good job, San Diego. That is not the shift here. And he's still 3 home runs. He's on a better pace than he has been before. But don't forget that Gavin Sheets has played 100, 120 games like almost every year of his career. And like his career high in home runs is like 15. Yeah. Like as big as that motherfucker is, there's not as much power as you would think in that swing. So yeah, best of luck to him. And I hope that he does well. But just shut the fuck up about it, White Sox Twitter. Who gives a shit? By the way, it inspired me. I bet this Padres to not make the playoffs.
Man. Damn.
I still haven't gotten down on Diamondbacks division. I got to get down on that shit. I don't know if it's still plus 16.
What about Cubs World Series? You guys gonna do that?
I ain't touching that. That's not.
I don't trust them. I don't think
it's
they
like a
pitch enough.
sucker bet.
Cubs to win is not my business. That's I'll pat my buddies on the back that are Cubs fans that bet that shit. I want none of it.
I like their offense. I really. I mean, the bullpen's already been rough, and I question their starting pitching as well. I think there's gonna be some problems there.
I took them to win their division, so yeah, we'll see.
Well, fellas, you know what time it is now. It's time for thank yous and GFYs. Beefloaf, who are you thinking of GFY?
Boys, RIP to Steve Mongo McMichael, Hall of Famer.
Oh,
we lost him to ALS yesterday. An all-time Chicago Bear, 1985 Super Bowl champ. But in the end of all this, I appreciate his selflessness because he didn't shy away from the camera when he had ALS. He could have gone about it quietly. And, I expected him to go about it quietly because he's one of these guys who was a big, strong, scary warrior on the football field. But he didn't. He chose to bring attention to the disease, to do something noble with getting what he got and stay out there in front of everyone. And so, as his body shrunk away, I just felt it was a very heroic act to continue to be out there, for everyone to continue to push to get him in the Football Hall of Fame, which I think he deserved regardless of any of this conditions. He was a total ass kicker, Teresa. I mean, we watched him growing up as kids, and it was like a terrific fucking player. So just a guy who showed real courage. And I'll say to Mongo, enjoy that champagne room in the sky, my friend.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Fuck. I love Mongo. That's one of those guys where, like, when you were a kid and he was on the team, you were like, this is the coolest motherfucker on earth.
Exactly.
Like, you don't often get that from like a defensive tackle. Like, usually you're looking at the quarterback and stuff, but like, you look at this guy, he takes his helmet off, he's got the long hair, and he's fucking maniac and like just personality out of this world. It's just like, that's fucking awesome. And
he was always married to these gorgeous, big-breasted blonde women like this. I was like, so he was like showing you that too, man. It's like, oh yeah, I got my girl too. Like, here's what it is.
Just a wild
wrestling.
Dude. Just a wild. Dude. He was like mayor of somewhere, right? Too. Like he was like just like a wild life. And like, yeah, Beef, I'm with you. Like, you think about how crazy and tough and wild he was, but like in all of his life, the toughest you ever saw him was at the end to go out there and just be in front of everybody and say like, yeah, this is what's happening to me. And like, this is fucked. Like it impacts you in a different way when you see a guy that you thought was, you knew, I shouldn't say invincible, bro. You knew was that tough to have this happen to him. And like, I hope people, take that to heart and think about it and continue to donate. I'm sure the donations are hot right now.
Yeah.
But like, you got to keep that shit going. So yeah.
Let's get to that drink.
Brad, he says,
Brad, appreciate it. Says cheers to Mongo, GFY, Angel Hernandez. Yeah, that all-time great. That's amazing. I saw that on Twitter all day today. It was great.
Good stuff.
All right. My Sock Summer. Who you thinking of GFY?
You know what? It's not even really a thing. It's just a happy 7th birthday to my youngest.
Yes.
And so she is just, I'm trying my damned hardest to not break her spirit. Okay. Because it will get broken at some point, but she has just got, she thinks she's got it all figured out and she's enjoying it and she's trying to be the ruler of the roost. And you know what? I'm gonna let that slide. She's like wakes up in the morning as soon as her alarm goes off at 5 o'clock, and by the time I walk into her room, or 6 o'clock, and by the time I walk into her room, she's already getting dressed on the bed, and she's like, Dad, hurry up. Let's go. Get these socks on me. Let's go. Because she just wants to beat her sister every morning about getting dressed and getting downstairs. Now she fucks around when she gets downstairs and doesn't do what she's supposed to do right away. But listen, I'm going to let it slide. Okay. And also going to let
high
it
motor.
slide.
It sounds like that's good. That's good.
I'm also going to let slide her asking me continually today, am I getting more presents when I've already told her, listen, we bought you an MP3 player that you wanted and a pair of wireless headphones to go on your trip to Florida for a fucking week and a half before your birthday. We're getting you little stuff for your birthday, but you know that. But we're at practice tonight, and she goes, Dad, do you think there'll be more presents? I'm like, you opened 4 presents this morning. There's no more presents. Presents are over. Okay. If other people send you presents, you'll have some more presents, but we're done giving you presents. Okay. Now try to hit that ball off the tee. Thank you. So happy birthday. I will try not to bust your or break your spirit.
Tracy, I love that. And happy birthday. But Tracy, I was telling you a story over the weekend about going over to my Sox Summer's house before Sox Fest. And I'm hanging out. We're waiting for the babysitter because he and I are going to go over there and meet up with you and Quincy. And watching his girls interact with him, fucking busting his chops and everything. To me, it was so like I just loved watching that shit. And his girl, he's right. She got a big spirit and she's willing to give him some shit. And then she was he's asking her, what's your little boyfriend's name? You know, and she names this little boy. She goes, but really all the boys in this class like me. And I was like,
right.
Yeah, oh yeah, let's go.
She pulled some shit yesterday. She goes, Dad, so-and-so called me ugly. And I go, who called you ugly? And she goes, oh, I called me ugly because I'm ugly, Dad. And I was like, I go, how many boyfriends you got, Tess? And she goes, about 12. And I'm like, there you go.
Exactly.
I go, yeah, all the guys are into ugly chicks, you know? Yeah, feel free.
You're all right.
You goofball. Fucking stop it.
All right.
Who's next?
I'm up.
You're up.
I want to thank our friends at Cork and Carry.
Yes.
New partnership. And you mind if I break a little news here?
Feel free.
Sunday, May 18th at Cork at the Park. We're going to be up there. We're going to do a live show. We're going to do a road watch of Sox Cubs. It's going to be insane. So be there. Get there right when it opens. Honestly, get a table. Get in there early. Get a table because we're going to pack that fucking joint. It's going to be wild. We're going to have a lot of drinks. It's going to be, well, you know, a responsible amount of drinks for Sunday.
Right, for Sunday. We're going to have giveaways. We're going to be doing all kinds of shit, man. The whole game.
All kinds of shit. I'm very excited about this. This is our kind of place. This is our kind of place. It's a long time coming that this partnership happened, and I'm super psyched about it. I think it's going to be great. So yeah, thank you to them, and thank you to you guys for joining me and working that all out, and to Ricky Shifter and Bob Tolan, of course. So thanks all. We'll see you soon. Until then, have a great night.
Break off the mighty